Hello everyone. In this INR number 60, we are going to discuss a very important topic for all the exams. It is good for NEET PG, FMG and INICT all, and you will see the questions in your exam from here. Right? So that is pap smear, which is also called as Papanicolaou smear. Right? So pap smear is also known as pap test, also called as Papanicolaou test. So what is the use of pap test? That was the question in exam. So there are two important uses. They are used for diagnosis of the infections and they are also used for screening of the cancer. So there are two important uses. Diagnosis of infections. What are the infections? Bacterial vaginosis, Trichomonas vaginalis, and it is also used for screening of cancers. What cancer? It is cervix cancer. Remember, screening, not for diagnosis. Right, so for that what we require equipment. So pap smear equipment had been asked in exam. So what are the equipment we require Cusco's vaginal speculum. So one vaginal speculum is required, then spatula is required. Remember, this is a hybrid spatula. Why I'm saying it is a hybrid spatula? Because they are having one end, they are having Aylesbury, and one end they are having Ayers spatula. So that is why it is called as hybrid spatula. So spatula, then we will have cervix brush. Cervix brush is also called as cervix broom. Right? Cervix brush is also called as cervix broom, and endocervical brush. Right? Coplin jar, which will be having top view. You can keep the slide here, and we will be having fixative inside this. This is the cap of the Coplin jar, right? Then tongue blade, cotton swab, glass slides, and we will be having one vial for liquid cytology, liquid based cytology. So these are the important things which we have to remember. So these are the things which had been asked in exam. So what are these things which examiner had asked in exams, right? So now we will see what are the steps of taking pap smear. So first we should understand what are the devices for collecting the cervical samples, right? So as I said, Aylesbury spatula, this is the modified Ayers spatula. Why we are saying that it is modified Ayers spatula? Because you can see that top end is having extension. When you see the extension, that extension means they are Aylesbury spatula. So this is the feature of Aylesbury, right? Whereas when you see the Ayers spatula, there will be no extension. Bottom end you can see here, there is no extended tip. When you find extended tip, that Aylesbury. When you find no extended tip, that is called as Ayers spatula. So this is Aylesbury spatula, which is modified form because both will be present in them, right? Then we are having endocervical cytobrush. Remember, endocervical cytobrush, this is the cytobrush. We can see the brushings are here. So it is used for sampling of the endocervix. Remember, what are the uses? Why we are using Aylesbury spatula? It is for sampling from the cervix and transformation zone. Remember, cervix and transformation zone, we are using Aylesbury spatula or Ayers spatula, right? Endocervical cytobrush we are using for sampling from the endocervix, right? If you have to take the sample from the endocervix, we are going to use this also. Cervix brush or cervix broom, we are going to use this for liquid based cytology, right? So these are the three important things which we have to discuss, right? So these are the three important things which we are going to discuss in the steps of the pap smear. So what are the correct steps of taking pap smear? That was the INICT question, and examiner can repeat this question. Remember, these are four simple steps which I have written in the green. Number one, vaginal retraction. So you will do the vaginal retraction by using the Cusco's vaginal speculum. So we will open this and we will try to look for the cervix, right? So that is the point of vaginal retraction. So we are using vaginal speculum. We are holding vaginal walls apart so that we can see the cervix clearly, right? Second step will be the cervix scraping. Cervix scraping, what we will do, that we will use all these spatulas or broom or brush for taking sample. You can see we are using one brush from here and we are going to collect sample from here, right? So this is what we are going to do. So sample will be collected by using either Ayers spatula or Aylesbury spatula, endocervical brush, or by cervical brush or broom. Any of these things, it depends, right? If you are planning for conventional smear, you will use IRC spatula and endocervical brush. If you are going for liquid based cytology, you will be using cervical brush, right? So whenever you are using this, you have to rotate them for 360-degree, right? So you can see these are the steps. You can see we are using 360-degree for spatula, and then we will make a slide. So slide preparation. Third step is slide preparation. See, first step, vaginal retraction for visualization of the cervix. Second is taking the sample from the cervix scraping or cervix sampling. Third is slide preparation. We are preparing the slide. So slide preparation for conventional pap smear or for liquid based cytology, both things we will discuss later on, right? And then we will use fixation. Remember, this is again very important NEET PG and FMG question. What fixative use for cytology? Because pap smear is a cytology. Pap smear is a cytology. So what is ideal fixative for pap smear? 95% of ethanol is ideal fixative for pap smear. So vaginal retraction, cervical sampling or scraping, slide preparation and fixation. These are the 4 steps of the pap smear which we are seeing: vaginal retraction, then cervix sampling, slide preparation and fixation in 95% of ethanol, right? So now what I want to say that conventional pap smear sampling, we are going to use a spatula and endocervical brush. So now you can see we are using a spatula from the cervix. We are rotating it for 360 degrees, right? But when we are using endocervical brush, we will rotate them for 90 to 180 degree. And these are for conventional pap smear. So from taking out the sample, you can see spatula is spreading the cells on the slide. And here you can see that endocervical brush. Endocervical brush is spreading these cells on the slide. This is the spatula and this is the endocervical brush. So this is for conventional pap smear. For liquid based cytology smearing, we are going to use cervical brush, or which is also called as broom. So when we are using cervical brush, we will be rotating them 5 times. Remember, 360 degree for 5 times. So we are rotating them for 5 times at 360 degree, right? So that is very important. Remember, 5 times 360 degree rotation will be done with the help of cervix broom. And after that, we will be spreading them on the slide. So remember, before that, what process we are going to follow for the LBC, because this is for liquid based cytology, LBC smear. So LBC we can use thin prep also and sure path also. In thin prep, what we do, we will rinse the broom without detaching the broom head. So we will rinse the broom inside the vial and we will not break down the head of the broom. That is thin prep. But in sure path, what we will do, we will detach the broom head inside the fixative of the vial itself, right? So that is the difference. Sure path, you have to detach, and thin prep, you have to just rinse inside the vial, right? What is the advantage of liquid based cytology? Just remember 3 important points. They will be giving you single layered homogeneous cells which are uniformly well fixed. There will be no artifact. And the most important point, we can do the HPV DNA co-testing also when we are going for screening of the cervix, right? So these are 3 important advantages: single layered cells, no artifact, HPV DNA co-testing can be done by liquid based cytology. That is one advantage, right? Now, cervical pap smear screening, we have to prepare 2 cytological specimen from the 2 areas, one from the ectocervix, another from the endocervix. In ectocervix, what we are going to look for, we are going to check the stratified squamous epithelium from the transformation zone. Why we are looking at the transformation zone? Because transformation zone, remember this is important MCQ, transformation zone is having maximum chances of cervical dysplasia and cancer. So ectocervix is for screening of squamous cell carcinoma at transformation zone. Endocervix is for looking into the columnar epithelium from the endocervical canal, and this is for cervical adenocarcinoma. Now you understood, ectocervix is for squamous cell carcinoma screening, endocervix sample we are going to screen for cervical adenocarcinoma. Majority of the cancer, 95% of the cancer is squamous cell carcinoma, right? So now you understood, ectocervix for squamous cell carcinoma screening, endocervix for cervical adenocarcinoma screening. Pap smear screening is very important, which came in exam. What age and what should be the frequency? No pap smear is done if age is less than 21 years. No pap smear testing, right? When a lady is between 21 to 29 years, then you should do pap smear every 3 year. Remember, every 3 year. 21 to 29 years, every 3 year we have to perform the pap test. And 30 to 65 year, you can do pap smear test alone without HPV, right? You can do only pap smear without HPV, but that should be continue like this only. Every 3 year you have to continue. Or you can do pap smear with HPV. Remember, because we are doing two things, pap smear plus HPV. We are doing two things, pap smear for screening of the cells and HPV for virus. So this is called co-testing, and this should be done every 5 years. So pap smear with HPV co-testing every 5 years. So now you understood. So when a lady is between 30 to 65 years, you have to perform pap smear without HPV every 3 year. Pap smear with HPV, which is also called as co-testing, will be for every 5 year till the age of 65 year. And you should stop pap smearing after 65 year if there is no abnormality, or you can say there is a consecutive 3 negative pap test. Remember, consecutive 3 negative pap test, or it can be 2 negative co-test. Remember, either it will be pap test 3 negative continuous and 2 negative co-test within 10 years, where recent one has been done within 5 years, right? So these are the pap smear screening rules. So age less than 21 year, no screening. 21 to 29 year, every 3 years. 30 to 65 year, every 3 year. But co-testing is every 5 year. Co-testing is every 5 year. And after 65 year, you have to stop it, especially when there are 3 negative pap tests consecutive, or there are 2 negative co-tests within 10 years, where recently was done in within 5 years. And if a special case like a immunocompromised or HIV patient, then you should do it for annually, right? So these are important point about the pap smear. So revise this. You may get question from your in your exam from here in this discussion. So my best wishes to all of you.